Welcome to my off-grid adventures. I'm Frank and I'm glad you're here with me today. We're going to do one of the biggest physical renovations that I've done to my RV. I've done some work on the electrical and plumbing and with batteries and things like that, but this time we're changing out some of the furniture, specifically the dinette set. The reason why I'm doing this is twofold. One is for easier access to storage. With the current setup that came default on our 2018 Keystone Springdale 262RK travel trailer, you had to take a bunch of cushions off in order to access the storage underneath the benches. And that's a lot of storage space. One of the largest areas of storage in the RV outside of the pass-through compartment and what's underneath the bed in the master suite. It's just a missed opportunity for storage, and we need more storage, so I'm looking forward to having easier access through these new benches that we're putting in from RecPro that are just flip-up seats that easily let you access all of that storage space, and I have a lot of things that I think will fit in there really conveniently. So there are two reasons why I wanted to make this upgrade. The first of which was adding a significant amount of easily accessible storage. And the second is having a more comfortable seat. The dinette sets that are standard in most RVs, I think, are typically just some type of foam. I don't even think they're memory foam that are sitting on plywood boards. So they're not necessarily meant to sit at all day, and that's fine. They're not meant for that. You're usually outdoors or you're using the other better furniture when you're indoors in an RV. But I work from here and sit at that dinette for many hours at a time. So I've been using one of those kneel pad cushions from Home Depot to sit on to make it more comfortable, but it still is a bit rough to sit on for an entire day of work. So I'm hoping that these are substantially more comfortable. I guess there's a third reason why we wanted to make this switch too, and that's just to get more space in that dinette area. Initially, we thought that the U-shaped dinette would be great for a lot of people to be able to sit around it, but in reality, you don't have much leg room. So with that back seat on the back wall taking up so much space, you really can only seat 3 people there comfortably, and even then your legs are rubbing up against each other. In the setup that this will be, I'm hoping it'll be easier to set 4 people there with more leg room than 3. So I'm just expecting that this is going to be a better scenario and will be worth the effort. I do want to say right up front though that this is not a sponsored video. I did not receive these from RecPro for free. I paid full price for them. I bought them on Amazon. I saw some other YouTube videos of some RVers who did receive theirs for free, and that would be awesome, but I didn't get that opportunity, so I paid full price for these. But this is just going to be my honest opinion that I'll share with you today of the install process and the quality of them. I went with the fabric ones because I did see a lot of reviews that showed that the vinyl seats would wear over time and rip and tear. So I think the fabric will be better, and I prefer to sit on fabric. I've never done anything like this before, but that's how it's been with every project I've tackled. So again, I'm glad you're with me for it. And I'll just walk you through all of the steps for disassembling and removing the current dinette set that's in there and then installing the new one. I haven't opened anything yet, so you're going to walk with me through all of the steps and we'll get started. Step number 1 is to remove the dinette set that we have in there. And it doesn't look like it'll be too hard. I was thankful that they didn't build the walls or the flooring around the dinette set. They definitely completed the carpeting and the paneling on the walls and then installed the dinette set in it. So it should be fairly clean once we remove it. I'm sure there'll be a few scratches and screw holes or something left, but I think that will be just fine. Let's start with that step. Here's what we have now. I think it looks nice. I wish I could have gotten some fabric replacement furniture that was a similar color in that dark brown, but it was either gray or light brown, and I think the light brown is going to be the better one. The gray seemed like it would definitely clash since there really isn't much or any gray in our RV. I'm going to use this table as a workstation for my tools. We'll set that over to the side, and then we'll start to dismantle the current setup here. I did think hard and long about making a pull-out drawer down there, but I just heard too many problems people were having of being able to pull it out easily since it's so long. And also the hardware to do that is quite expensive. I tried to do a similar solution with the closets in the master bedroom and wasn't really happy with the result. So instead of trying to jerry rig something, I'm just gonna go with this RecPro dinette set replacement. And then we'll take off all of the cushions. Oh, I do that every time. Hit my head on the lamp. I won't edit that out because lesson learned. Try to avoid hitting your head on low-hanging things in your RV as much as possible. Let's keep track. How many times do you think I'll hit that before this project is over with? Looks like this here is only attached by 4 screws, well 8 screws, 2 in each. And they are square drive of some kind. There is some wiring in here. I'm actually glad about that because I was wanting to put another outlet over here too, in this corner, in the middle actually, since I use my laptop from this spot. Looks like those are also just attached with a square drive, so it shouldn't be too much trouble getting all of this out of here. These knee pads by Husky, sometimes they don't have them at Home Depot, so I like to get them for everywhere I go. I have bad knees, but even people who don't have bad knees might enjoy just the comfort of having a soft spot to sit when you're working on projects like this. Just turned 50 and I appreciate everything like that. So I'm going to be using this, the one that I used to use to give some cushion to my seat is now going to give my knees some cushion for the project. Let's just remove these. I don't think it'll be very complicated to remove this part here, but I'm not sure about the 2 ends, how they're connected yet. Now we have a workstation all set to be able to lay out our tools. First thing we need to do is find the square drive that fits that particular screw. Thankfully my DeWalt set has a few options. Yep, that's it. First one did it. Number 2. We'll see if I can even count. My brain will work well by the time we're done. And I did watch a quick YouTube video that to remove this top trim, you just pop off those little caps, and I'll show you that in a second. Let's take off the trim and get that out of the way. Really small screws. No, does that count when you hit it? Do I have to count that? If so, that would be 3, but I was just going to count my own. Pop these off. These are caps. I thought they might have been sewn in. But they're caps to more square drive screws. Ow. It's like a little snap on top of the screw. Longer than I thought. There's one screw that goes in here. Try to get that out first and then see what else we've got to work with here. It's really buried. These are kind of tacked on with tiny little staples. Yep. I think there might be one more back here, or it might just be pushing and then pressing it in the corner with the pressure of the back pieces. So let's take that apart. Looks like there are maybe 1.5 inch screws, same square head, thankfully, in the floor. And then the power that's in here goes to a night light that used to shine underneath the edge of the bench. I think that's all of the screws, at least that I can see for this side. Nope, it is okay. Yeah, that is, there's no more screws there, but somehow this is, there we go. I think this might be it. I'm just going to keep going with all the screws. Ow! 3, 4. That was the 4th time. I did it once off camera, to be honest with you. For those of you who've placed bets on this, it's just a little snap, but it sounds pretty good. I don't know if I'll sell this or not when I'm done. I'd rather not ruin it, but I don't want to rip fingernails up either. I also need to take off the wiring is connected to the frame, and looks like it's the same square drive. I'm not sure what the power is of this, if it's enough power to work my laptop, or if it's been limited, if it's limited somehow. I don't know much about electrical, though I did rewire this thing, and the fuse at least, fuse box, battery. Oh, this is just one of these strips, one of those LED strips like you have on a TV, just stuck with glue to the back. Ow, okay, 5. And here's what we've got now. Got that pile of parts and pieces, all of these screws and snaps. And now I'm going to start taking these pieces out as I can remove them. Let me take this out first. It seems to be causing the pressure on the benches. There you go. It's just at 6. Just hit the lamp 6 time. I don't know if that's going to go through the door. Yeah, it will if I tip it like this. Let's end. This is one of my favorite vacuums, not just for a camper, but favorite ones at all. This DeWalt 20 volt. I'm not sure if I'll end up having to take these off in order for the lids to open. A little concerned it might hit that, but I don't think it'll be a big deal to remove them. It's just attached with a couple of screws, and it's independent of the top valance, so I don't think that'll be a problem. This is the switch that turns on those lights. I might just reuse them as they are if there's any space at the bottom to mount them. They are handy. All right, let's unbox the new RecPro dinette set and we'll get it in here. I think what I'm going to do is take the two benches, set them on this table here, and then unbox them, and then we'll do the table last. This is the table. I don't know if the legs for the table are in there. If they are, they're light. Well, might as well just do one at a time, huh? Let's open this one up. From the reviews that I saw, everybody said that the furniture was packed extremely well. So let's see if that's our experience too. I expect it will be because it was noted on almost every review. Not that there were a ton of reviews. Yes, it's looking accurate that it was very well packed. I think I'm going to open this up at the corners if I can do that safely. It's a little scary putting a razor next to new furniture, but it'll let both of us get a good look at it. And it is well packed and it is the right color. I'd love it if it's relatively assembled in there. I don't know if it is. I like to find the instructions too. It's covered with a nice kind of mesh cloth. I just wish I could know if it's one piece, because if it is, I'll take it in. And I'd prefer to take it in with this on it. You know, why risk getting anything dirty or scratched? It's not assembled, which is good. In some ways, oh, that is assembled. And you've got the back. Yeah, this is great. This is the part I didn't want to have to assemble. So I'm glad that that part's done. And we've got our very easy instructions. Looks like some hardware. Just an Allen wrench. I like that. That looks really nice. Look at the cushion there. Here's the directions. I love it when there's just 3 steps to a project. What do you think? Should I try to take it in like it is? Or put that cover back on? I think I'm going to put the cover back on. Why not? Maybe just to protect it from me because I'm so sweaty. We'll learn on this one if that's a good decision. It might make it slipperier too. So we'll see if I do the same thing on bench number 2. Yeah, that's not too bad of a match of color. Not bad at all. It's actually a really good match for the walls. That's great. What a nice bonus. I'm just going to dry fit it first. Oh, it just goes under that. So I'm going to leave it. I love that. Oh, nice. I'm going to resist the temptation to sit on it until I get it completely assembled. Three bolts and an Allen wrench. That's it. So there's this here that the back gets bolted into, and then there's these 2 side pieces. Okay, so the cushion is last. This is the back that we're installing next with a Velcro Velcro back so that it will take the cushion and attach it really easily for the back cushion, and yet be removed easily as well. So there's a hole here, a hole there at the end, and a hole here. I'm going to get ScotchGard for this before we give it much use. I don't know if it comes protected or not, but it seems like a smart thing. We've got, well, I come in here filthy all the time. I'm the worst. But we also have grandkids, and they like to have popsicles and fruit snacks and s'mores. The best stuff is sticky and messy, right? All the good snacks are messy. First one's going in real nice. Remove this little cover. Yeah, that is such a nice match, isn't it? To the wall. All right, here comes the moment we've been waiting for, the sit test. What do you think? It looks comfortable, but I got a big butt. Oh, I'm scared to even try it. I'm so sweaty. I want to put this down. That's really nice. That is so much better than a simple foam cushion on a plywood board. It's got a nice placement of the cushion for the back. I like this a lot. Let's get the other one in. It was so easy to get through the door. I'm not going to cover it the second time with that protective cover. All the projects I've worked on, this isn't the hardest. And if I can do it, anybody can do it. This is a one-person job. Well, everything's easier with two. Yep, 3 bolts and an Allen wrench, so nothing's missing from the second one. Thank you, RecPro friends. I am so happy with the color of this. I didn't expect it to match so well. It is a really good match. I lost track. How many are we at? 7? 6? You ever dropped a screw on a fairly flat, even surface, concrete, a deck, and never find it? I have, many times. In fact, the worst was when I was working on the battery upgrade for this RV. When I upgraded it to lithium, I dropped a screw, and I think I spent an hour looking for it. Just dropped it straight down in front of me, and it just disappeared. So every time I drop something like that, I always have to wonder a little bit, will I ever find that? Is that just me? I'm just doing this for illustration purposes. I'm not really this clumsy. Right. Oh my. I gotta say, I'm impressed. Almost always with something this big, there's a screw missing, or I drop and lose one, or it won't fit because the hole's not big enough, or the place it's screwing into isn't threaded right. So that is a treat to have this all go in without any issues. Thank you so much. I am so far very, very pleased with this. Surprisingly pleased with it. I'm not just one of those infomercial people that says high praise. You know that my most popular videos are my critical ones, but I am so happy with the ease of this, the quality of it, and the color matching. that it has. I don't know how much went into that, if this is a standard kind of paneling color back here. This is usually the side that I work from the most. That is a lot more legroom because I used to have the other back bench here, so I didn't have any of this space up to this point here. And I will secure these with L brackets. That's another step that they don't include, but I think I've got some L brackets around. I don't move my RV. I have it in a stationary place on off-grid property that we own. So not everything that I have in my RV has to be as secured as it is for those who need it to stay put when they're traveling. Let's take a look at it first before the table blocks the view. You can see the spots, the braces there where this turns into a bed. Yes, the legs are in here. Braces that go both on the table and on the floor. Right, this is about 10 inches narrower than the space between the benches to make this into a bed. It's not going to be able to turn into a bed. Even if I put another table or board that would span the gap of 40 inches, it would then leave a space of cushion that you wouldn't have, because the benches themselves are a part of the bed, the seats, and then you take the backs and put them in the center and they wouldn't meet up. So I'm fine with that. The bed that the Old Dinette turned into wasn't comfortable, so I don't mind not having that one. That's a little bit of a loss because it's better than sleeping on the floor, but I more often use that space for working, and that's the top priority. I measured the size of the new table, and it's quite a bit larger than the old one, but I like the base of the old one better. So I'm going to take this base off and then attach it to the new table. It should just be 8 screws. Put that on the carpet. Set this down on top. And then we'll just center it and drill that right in. 9.5. Let's try that again. I think instead of using the screws I took out of the other table, I'll use the ones meant for this table. No, that doesn't count. I didn't hit the light. I hit the leg. It's bigger and I like it. And it's better than using the post that would have locked it in place. Now I can easily slide it and turn it the other way if we wanted to. Our last step is to secure these benches to the ground using L brackets. One other thing I changed from the plan is I put those light strips along the back edge of the wall, right at the bottom, right down there, because it is really handy to have that little bit of light at night. I've got them in the place that I want them to be. I only have 4 of these. I'm starting to think it might require more than that, but it seems like it'd be good to have 4 on each. There is not much to screw into. There's a center board that's in the furniture, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put one here, and I don't know where to put one on the back, but I know that that will go there. Let's do that first. Yeah, that's not going anywhere. Ow. That is what, 8? 8 times I hit that light. I'm gonna pre-drill this because I don't think that's a super high quality board. And when I put the other one in, I heard just a bit of a split. So might as well do it right on this side. I'm not worried, but might as well be smart. Yeah, that's really secure. I took a quick shower to get cleaned up, and then I ran to one of my favorite stores, Home Depot, to pick up a few braces just to further secure this to the floor. And then I also got the bottle of ScotchGard, or can of ScotchGard. So let's secure this first, and then we're going to do 2 coats of ScotchGard, and then we will be done. I have a corner bracket and then, or a corner brace. And the reason that I got this type is because there aren't places along the back that have a board that goes vertically. So the L brackets are just too high on the side of the bench. There's nowhere for that hole to drill into. So I needed something lower that could catch the bottom piece of trim within the furniture itself. And I also, since I wasn't certain if the corner ones would be enough, I bought some inside corner braces. So I just want to get this nice and secure, not have to think about it ever popping up on itself or anything. It's number 9, if you're still counting. Yeah, that definitely is more secure now. And then I'm going to put one of these along the back side. That's it for that side. That is definitely secure enough. I'm happy with that. And number 10. Our last step is going to be applying ScotchGard to the fabric. And from a video that I watched, it said to wear a mask and gloves. I'm not going to wear a mask. I don't have one. Not with me. It says to spray it, to shake it, and then spray it 6 inches away from the fabric, doing 1 light coat, then letting it dry and applying a second and final coat. And I was also told that 1 can should do all of this. I've got the windows open so it's well ventilated. Oh, number 11. Get a fan out here. I really love this DeWalt fan. Works great, never have to have it plugged in. Let all this dry and then we'll reapply it probably in a half hour. take care of a couple other tasks while this is drying. Well, I made good use of the time spent while this was drying. I was able to load a couple more jugs of water into our freshwater tank. I drilled a hole with a hole saw through the base of our shed to run the solar wiring through. I hung a new hook up on the wall in our bedroom that my wife asked me to hang for her. And I got some things cleaned up and ready for another project that I have to use my chainsaw for. So that was a good half hour or so. And now I'm ready. I just felt it and the fabric feels dry. So let's apply that last coat and call it a day. By the way, I did just bang my head the hardest yet right before I turned the camera on. So for those of you counting, I think that's 11 or 12. And we're not done yet. Maybe my next project will be replacing that with a soft, like bubble light. One that squeaks like the Pillsbury Doughboy when you hit it, instead of splitting your head open. Probably not. I probably won't do it. I'm just a glutton for punishment. Let's get this last coat on. This is where the boots scrape, so I definitely want to make sure that's protected. This is where my sweaty back rusts. We're going to let that dry, and then we will put the cushions back on, and we will be done. So what do you think? Let's do a before and an after. Definitely brightens it up in here. A lot more legroom, a lot more easy accessible storage. And it really didn't take that long. This project turned out really nice, and I'm so glad that I did it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more content about RVs or off-grid living in Michigan, please subscribe. We'd love to have you join us. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.